You know this is only a quiz, right? What are you doing here?
We've got to get more than 34 today. Don't let them guess now.
I was literally down in the bedroom trying to piece together rounds, and like, some of these questions are so crap. Oh God, how are we all? Are we well? Isn't it hard to believe that the week is nearly out? Oh, it is out. We're on Friday. You know, it's mad. Been a great week though, right? The one thing I'm walking away from this boat saying, you know what? Thank God I left Celtic Thunder. I'm joking. It has been absolutely great reconnecting with you all. Some of you I haven't seen since the day I left. The one thing that I get, I've had a couple of things that have happened over the course of the week which I think are brilliant, you know. One of them, which happened quite a lot, was people coming up to me and saying, I've been a fan of Celtic Thunder since you left. And yesterday a woman comes, oh my God, I got a picture with you. I got a picture with you. I said, yeah, no problem at all. Oh my God, I got a picture. Will you sign this for me? I signed it for her. Thanks a million, Peter. And then the last, of course, that happened quite a bit was, what have you been up to since you left Celtic Thunder? Oh, nothing, I'm an accountant now. Anyways, so this quiz, there are more quizzes on this thing than I've done concerts. The same questions, yeah. Sing the questions. Hell no. I had too much to drink last night to sing anything today. Rachel got in touch with me and she was like, Paul, will you do an hour's talk on Irish language? I said no. Come up with something else and let me know. So, it's a short quiz. It's only 5 rounds with 6 questions in each round because I had to come up with them, so there's only going to be 5 rounds. But maybe before that, I thought it might be fun for about 15 minutes or so if we did a questions and answers thing. Would you like that? Yeah! Because, as I said, a lot of you probably haven't seen me since I left the show, and will never see me again after the vote. So, what's my website? .ie, yeah. And you're all going to be on that regularly, right? There you are. And if you want to be really insulted or offended, go to my Twitter account. And if you just want pictures, I'm on Instagram. So we're just any questions you want, just throw them out. First tap, hand up, and go right ahead. Facebook as well, yeah. Yeah, I'm on it all, to be honest. Yeah.
What have you been doing since you played that?
Well, I was in Houghton Lake, of course, yes, in Michigan, and I hope to be back to Houghton Lake in Michigan soon. I've been literally gigging, like I literally go around doing just concerts. I like small little venues. I like the venue that we were like in on this boat. I mean, the main stage is gorgeous and all this, but I love the intimacy of a small gig. As you can kind of gather, I like a bit of crack, a bit of interaction, a bit of banter, and it's always been good fun, especially with the smaller venues. I find once I go to the big venues, you kind of lose that, especially because there's no audience. But you just feel more successful in a small venue.
Are you coming to St. Petersburg, Florida?
I have no plans to be in St. Petersburg, Florida anytime, but that's not to say I won't be. Okay, yeah, definitely look into it. It's, as I said, when people keep going, why don't you go to my town? I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but it's not that I don't want to. Do you know what I mean? But I'm trying to get around as often as I can. Yes.
When are you going to bring your student show to Australia?
When you pay for the flights. Anyone else? Say that again?
We'd like you to come back to Peachtree City and have Lisa back.
Oh, nice, yeah. Peachtree City in Georgia, myself and Lisa Kelly did a concert together. I was a special guest of hers. Lisa Kelly from Celtic Woman, you know Celtic Woman? Great show, and lovely girls. And it's wonderful that Lisa and myself went to the same singing teacher when we were little kids. And so all these years later, we're now working out in America and representing Dal. He was a blind man, believe it or not. My first singing teacher was a blind man, and he specialised in particular in boys sopranos voices. So I was very fortunate to have him as a teacher. I've been very fortunate in my life with the teachers that I've had. But Lisa and myself were the same singing teacher, and we've become great friends. And we text each other on WhatsApp on a daily basis. I'm doing a gig in Duluth in Georgia in March, and I'm hoping that she'll be a special guest at the gig. So let's see how that plays out. Anybody else? Yes.
Do you get back to Ireland frequently?
I live in Ireland, so I'm there quite frequently. No, I know what you mean. I gig there quite a bit now. Yeah, I love being home, but I live in Dublin. Yeah, I live in the capital.
What is your address?
I'll give you the address, but 6 months' time it could be very different. Depends on whether you guys turn up at the gigs or not. That very much rectifies my address. So I gig quite a bit back home. I'm going to be doing a show back in Dublin, Beauty and the Beast, between now and the end of January. So that's why I'm not doing it at Christmas. I always do a Christmas tour, so this is the first time in years I haven't done a Christmas tour. But I'm actually quite excited about getting home every night and getting into my own bed. And hopefully Dom will be there some of the time.
What part are you playing?
I'm playing Gaston. It's going to be a lot of fun. I had 2 days rehearsals before I left Dublin, and it's kind of like it's an adaptation of Beauty and the Beast. So what they do is they call it's a thing called panto in Ireland.
Yeah.
You know what a panto is? Yeah. So it's like the show is the show, but they put in some local humour into the show, and it's very much for kids as well, and family, and it's an interaction, you know, and they shout at the bad guy when he comes out. So it's a lot of fun. It's going to be the maddest 3 months of my life, probably, you know. Sir, yes, sir.
How was the singing for the president?
It was one of the finest moments of my life. I sang for President Obama's first Paddy's Day. It was incredible. Sorry, when I say I mean it was the five of us, the five guys, and I got to do a solo, which was brilliant. I got to sing "You Raise Me Up," which is no, this is not a karaoke. That was yesterday. But it was great, and I was when we got there, which was pretty cool, was that everybody I suppose was looking to meet the president, and was quite enamored by the president. But in actual fact, it was Michelle that stole the show. Seriously, I wasn't hugely enamored by her initially. But she literally lit up the room when she walked in, and everybody wanted to meet her. Obviously he's the president, but she has a presence about her which was quite remarkable. And when she came in to meet us, I said, very nice to meet you. I said, we're big fans of you in our house. And she turned around and she goes, well, we're big fans of you in our house. The two girls loved Celtic Thunder. So that was pretty amazing, and then he turns around and he goes, where did you guys get those boots? We're killed. I mean, the only time I get to meet the President of America, I'm in a bloody dress. And he says, where'd you get the boots? And I said, well, don't worry. I said, we've got a pair for you downstairs. He goes, you know what? He said, I wore similar boots when I started dating Michelle. He says, I ain't going back to those days again. So, you know, just lovely, 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 lovely people. Whatever about the politics, who cares? I don't care. Like, he was one of the nicest men I've ever met and had the pleasure of meeting, and similarly Michelle. And as I said, whatever about the politics, I don't want to get into that, but I know as a couple, they were a lovely couple, and you guys should be very proud. Very, very proud. Anybody else? Hi.
What well-known person would you not want to see on a clothing optional beach?
What well-known person would I not like to see on a clothing optional beach? Are you drunk, sir? Donald Trump. Yes. How long have I been married? Too long. No, 4 years. 4 years. No, we're 4 years married. Yeah, 4 years married.
Babies?
Anybody else? Yes, Bradley. If you follow me on Instagram, you can see Bradley on a daily basis.
Who's one of your favorite people that are some of the favorite people here today? Besides Bob?
Well, I didn't enjoy that at all. So, who have I shared the stage with? One of my finest moments in my career was, without question, singing the national anthem with Neil Diamond. Yeah, that was incredible. I was in my early 20s, and this was the life prior to Celtic Thunder, and it was truly remarkable. He was an amazing guy, and my mother is a huge Neil Diamond fan, and so for her to have her son on the stage with Neil Diamond, that was pretty great for her. So anybody that can make their mother or father proud like that is the highlight of my career. So she was blown away. It was great. It was great. Anybody else? Yes, darling. Oh, thank you very much. I sing it regularly for the Boston Celtics, as you know, and I've had the pleasure of doing it for the Brooklyn Nets. I've had it for the Phillies and the Steelers. The Steelers were the first people I sang it for. And it's funny, the Boston crowd are mad, you know. Yeah. I mean, they're like nowhere else in America. Like, honest to God, I sing it and it's always respected, and it's all. I find the whole controversy around the anthem at the moment, you know, disappointing or upsetting. It's not to take away from. I don't want to get into it, you know, but whatever they guys are doing that's okay. That's their thing. But it is one of the finest national anthems ever, actually, in my opinion. And you know, I just wish more singers would just sing the bloody song as it's written. It's such a good song. You don't have to do much with it. Just sing it, you know. So I love every time I'm asked to sing it, I'm just blown away by it. I love it. So yeah, it's a great honor. It's a great honor to sing any country's national anthem. It really is. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
You ever coming to Canada?
Am I ever coming to Canada? I've been to Canada. I did a solo gig in Toronto a few years ago. You know what? I was going to do one in Thunder Bay. I had a gig and everything, a venue and all that lined up, and then I had another one in Ontario. And then it was just so expensive to get to it. And then you kind of, so the thing about my gigs is that I'm funding them, right? So if they don't sell well, I've got to pay for everything. Do you know what I mean? So it's a huge gamble when I go to any venue, because I've got to bring the pianist, I've got to pay for his room, I've got to pay for his flights, pay for my own, all of that kind of stuff. So when people say, why don't you come to Timbuktu? I'm like, well, does anybody know me other than you there? You know? And so it's a huge gamble when I do these gigs, and I have to make sure that it financially works in order to do them. Now that's not to say they wouldn't do well. I'm looking at venues. I like doing small venues, and therefore if it goes great, we go back or we build and build and build. So it's not that I haven't or don't want to go to Canada. It's just I don't know it well enough. and I'm working on it. But I will be there soon, I promise you. I promise, and I'm very, very grateful to all the Canadians that have given me support over the years, because you have, and I very much want to get there, I really do.
Would you stay with Larry and I?
I'll stay with Larry and you, great, no problem. Party on Larry's, let's go. Okay, who else? We've got another 5, thank you. We have another 5 minutes or so of this, and then we'll start the quiz. Is that okay? Because I know you're all dying to have another quiz. Yes, darling, again, go on ahead.
Do you have any children yet?
No, I don't, unless, not that I'm aware of, no. No, not that I'm aware of. Anybody else? Yes. How's Dominique? I think she's doing great this week in particular, because I'm not around. But she's in good form. Thank you for asking. She's in very good form. Yes, darling. Phil Coulter's still my father-in-law. Yes, he is. He's a great man. Phil and I get on like a house on fire. We have a very similar humour, and he kind of likes the bit of dibblement that I possibly bring to the table. And yeah, I've been very fortunate in having a great relationship with him before I even met Dominique. You know, Phil and I have been working. I started working with Phil when I was 21 years of age, and there's no question about it. If it wasn't for Phil, I wouldn't have joined Celtic Thunder. I had absolutely zero interest in joining a group of men on the stage. Swear to God. And he made about 3 or 4 calls to me, and he was like, Paul, please, this is going to be great, you're going to enjoy this, I promise you it'll work out. And I was like, I just can't see it, Phil, I just can't see it. And he's like, it's not a boy band, it's just 5 men. Then I saw George and Damien and I realised, absolutely, it's not a boy band. Yes, at the back there, how are you, darling? I'm not. Like it's not that I'm not. There's no plans to. You know, like I'm longer out of the show than I was in the show. It's not hard to believe. Like I mean, it's 10 years. I was only in the show 4. You know, and I was a solo artist for years before joining Celtic Thunder, and I enjoyed those 4 years. They were awesome, and I'm delighted to have a great relationship with all the guys because they're all really good guys. And I have a great relationship with the whole company, you know, the whole production team, the management, Sharon, the whole lot. So I'm very fortunate to be able to say, you know, after that period of time that we're in a good relationship and we're in a good place. And look, if they ever needed me, I would absolutely jump in. They don't need me. They've got 5 great guys there, and they're doing a wonderful job. They look great, and they look young. What the hell do they need me for? So, you know, they're good guys, and as I said, I'll always be there for them, and if they need me, I'll be always around. But I'm very happy doing my own thing. As you've probably gathered from my gigs, anybody that's been at the gigs, it's a very different time, you know. I do a mixed bag of music. I like singing what I like singing, and what I don't like singing, I don't sing. And I like that, you know, and I'd probably get into trouble a lot if I had a boss. So it's best I just keep motoring on with that in the hope that you guys will keep following me, you know, that's really the hope. Yeah. You have to make it back to this. I have nothing going on in November and it plays really well. Yeah, no, joking aside, well, it's a 10-year anniversary. I thought, you know what, it'd be nice to be here. And you know, George wasn't here, and I think of George every day on this boat, and I think of George on a regular basis in life. And if nothing else, he's given me the gift of taking life not for granted. And you know, remarkable that he was taken from us so quickly and so soon. And you know, it's a very sad situation. However, I always say not to feel sad for George, because George was living the dream. Out of all of us, he was the one that never wanted the tours to end. No, he was always loving it, like loving it. There'd be nights he'd come off the stage and tired, to want to get on the bus. He's outside hugging people and signing. I'm like, George, get on the bloody bus, will you? Jesus, Mary and Joseph. He loved it. He loved it. And so if I, in my final days, can say that I die doing what I love doing, I'll be a very lucky man. And he got to do that. So I'm back here because of that. I'm representing that old time, that first show, you know, that 5 guys that just didn't know their arse from their elbow. You know, it was a really exciting time. Like, none of us knew what was lying ahead. And 10 years, it's hard to believe it's 10 years. Well, look, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure to be here, so thank you. We'll take 2 more questions and then we'll get on with the quiz. Anybody else? Yes, sorry.
What's your middle name?
What's my middle name? Michael. Paul Michael Byrom, after my father. Yeah. And then I'm Paul Michael Albert Byrom. Albert is my grandfather. And I took his name for my confirmation. And for years I was mortified by Albert. And nobody knew my third name. And as I got older, I developed the appreciation, and I'm very lucky to have his name associated to mine. Anybody else? Yes, Charlie. I do. I'm very, very fortunate. I have a beautiful sister. She is a year and a half older than me. She's one of the most incredible people you'll ever meet. She's quite shy, but she is a mother of 3, and a beautiful girl, very, very strong. She's just an incredible woman. So I'm very fortunate that with the women in my life, I have my mother and my sister and myself, and we used to call ourselves the 3 amigos. So no matter who comes or goes in our life, it's the 3 of us. And much in all as Dominique and her husband Brian are very much part of our life, nobody comes between the 3 of us. And we're a very strong unit, very, 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 very fortunate. They've done so much for me and continue to do a lot for me. So yeah, that's my sister, and we're both, believe it or not, we're both adopted. As I said, like, if you look at me and you look at my mother, you think we're the spitting image of each other. You know, it's bizarre. And if you look at my father and my sister, the spitting image of each other. It's a really weird thing, you know. And I have the same personality as my mother as well. Like, she's quite feisty and stubborn and hot-tempered. Shy wouldn't be her thing either, no. And then my sister and my father were the exact same. It's a really weird thing, you know. So, but it's one of those unknown things. I'm actually an adopted child, so but I've only got one mother, and I believe that, you know, your motherhood starts from the time you hold that child in your arms. And I was very fortunate within a week of being born to be put in my mother's arms. So, and she used to say when we were kids, a really funny story. When we were kids, we knew from the time we were born, like, that we were adopted. She always told us, and she always spoke very highly of my natural mother. And she used to say, you know, Paul and Amanda, I went in and I picked you guys. And we were like, oh, yeah. And so Amanda was making her communion in school, and they were doing the family tree at 7 years of age. And she went in, and the teachers were chatting about the family tree, and Amanda had her hand up in the air for ages. And she goes, yes, Amanda. Amanda stood up and she goes, I just want to let you know that I was chosen. And that all of you are mistakes. Needless to say, the nuns had Mom and Dad in the office. And they went out to Mom and Dad looked back at the nun and said, if my daughter said that, she's learning well. Okay, one last question, then we get on with the quiz, alright? One last question, here we go. Yes?
How old were you when you started singing?
How old was I when I started singing? I started training when I was 7. But my earliest memory of singing was at the age of around 4. Stevie Wonder had a song called I Just Called to Say I Love You Out. And MTV had just come to Ireland. So we had the television on the television. And I just saw this black man that was blind, right? And with dreadlocks. And he was dressed really colourfully, and he was singing into a phone. I was blown away by it, you know. Because, you know, you wouldn't have seen anybody but Irish paddies in the 80s in Ireland. You very rarely saw anybody with a colour. you know. So I was mesmerised by this guy, and I used to mimic him every time there was a party or somebody would pick up the phone. Keeping in mind I was this high, very fat, and white curly hair. So everything that Stevie Wonder wasn't. So that's the earliest I remember of singing. And I started training at the age of 7, and then I did my first opera when I was 12. Yeah, I got the lead role in an opera called Among on the Night Visitors with the National Concert Orchestra, and fully professional production in our National Concert Hall. And I was blown away. That was when the first time I'd stood in front of a full house. You know, it was 1,300 people, and I loved it. And then I released my first album 2 years later, at the age of 14. So it's been a long journey. I'm 38 now. I've been in the game a long time. I'm worn out. I'm so broken. Right, let's do this. High C's Brain Tease. It is going to be awful. I was told that it had to be an Irish-themed quiz, right? Has everybody got pieces of paper? Has everybody got a team? Hands up if you're not on a team. One person. One person is not on a team. Do you want to come join them, or are you okay there? What do you want to do? Do you want to find a team? Are you a team? Are you okay now? Okay, so you got your name, the team name on the top of the page. I'm going to read each question twice. If after that you haven't heard the question, tough luck. Right, here we go. Round 1 is going to be the general Irish knowledge. What does Turalura mean? No, I'm joking, that's not it. Question 1, here we go. Which city in Ireland? These are really easy, so if you're struggling with these, you've got to question yourself. Which city in Ireland would you find Christ Church Cathedral? Built by the Vikings, believe it or not. And it still stands to this very day. One of the most beautiful structures in Ireland. Which city in Ireland would you find Christ Church Cathedral? Question 2. How many counties are in the Republic of Ireland? How many counties are in the Republic of Ireland? If I can hear the answer, the team beside you can hear the answer. Mother of mine. You know how this thing works, right? It's a competition.
Yeah.